Well, what we're going to look at here today is what we call our Automated Financial Reporting Solution, or AFR, which essentially gives you the ability to deploy your financial data in financial statement formats throughout your organization. So it's not just limited to the accounting or finance departments. You can put the data into the hands of the operational users so they can manage their specific areas. The few samples you see here on the screen are all examples of reports pointed at the same AFR data source, so you can come up with a lot of different layouts and screens, graphs, charts. But what we're going to focus on here today is just looking at a couple of the basic financial statement layouts and what you can do with those. So I'm going to open up the operating statement here first. And what you should see is a fairly basic operating statement layout. You can see on the left the dimensions, which represent the various ways you can filter, sort, and organize your data. This is based on your organizational layout. So you may have other things in here, and you may have structured differently, but you'll have some number of elements here, and then down below you see the measures. These represent the various amounts that we're going to be able to show in the financial statements. And again, this will vary based on your specific needs. So you can have things like actual dollars, budget dollars, percentages, and so forth. On the layout here that you can see, we have the account dimension on the rows. And the thing to note here is that it's in a financial statement format. So all the numbers are presented the way you would expect to see them on a financial statement. So cost of sales is a positive number, as well as sales is a positive number. But mathematically, it still works as you go down the operating statement. So the account dimension, again, will be based on your particular layout that you want and the way those accounts roll up. And we'll show that here in a second. Across the top, we have added some filters. One of the filters we have is for the dates. And as you can see, we include what we call relative date groupings, which allow you to save reports filtered so that they will always show you the current period or current year to date or a rolling 12-month total. Again, these can be defined based on your specific needs. But this way, every time you open this report, it's always going to reflect whatever is the current period and current year to date. So people don't have to remember to change a filter or change dates. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to filter this by, say, the store. If I want to look at a particular store, this is the total company income statement. So I may want to filter down and say, look at just one particular store. So I can change that filter, and now I am looking at an income statement specifically for that store. From there, I may want to look at a different period. So I can change that up here by picking, say, the prior period. And now I've got the prior month's income statement for that store. From here, you can drill down on these account levels. So I may want to look and expand expenses, and you can see that expands into some additional levels, which again will vary depending on your particular needs. And say I want to go down further into the supplies and general expenses. I can go all the way down to the general ledger account level. So from here, I could further, what we include is the ability to select a particular amount, and we will have what's called an action that allows you to drill through to general ledger document detail. So what I've just done was drilled through on that one selection for the bad debt expense, and this is now showing all the general ledger detailed document information that support that number. And again, this will vary based on your general ledger system and setup, but you can include whatever data is available there, such as stores, customers, vendors, and so on. So what we've just seen, I'm going to close this, is that we were able to go from a total company income statement all the way down to specific general ledger transactions with just a few clicks. So this enables your users to research a lot of their own data without having to seek help from IT or from the accounting department. And it's very quick and it's very efficient. As far as who can see what data, it's possible to use what are known as security roles so that users can only be limited to seeing the data they should be allowed to see. So for example, you could limit a user to only seeing certain stores or certain departments or certain general ledger accounts. So every time they would access one of these reports, it would automatically be filtered to only show them what they're permitted to see. That's essentially the high-level kind of things that you would be able to do. You can certainly build this out further to do analyses, of specific accounts, such as this would be an example of showing maybe some seasonality across time for sales. There's a lot of different things you can do. We won't get into all that here right now, but this was just intended to give you kind of an idea of the things that are possible with the AFR solution. So please contact us for further information.